Good morning. You would not believe the hassles I've got with my different devices and etc. going on. I've got an iPad, which is not mine. I've got my phone, which I don't really know. I think it needs to be replaced. And I've got a laptop that the microphone doesn't really work on properly. So all in all, and then I went to go live there and it said on the iPad, I thought, well, I'll try it. And then it said, this browser does not support the camera. So I was like, Anyway, here we are. And we're going live. So please let me know if the sound's okay. Because I have had issues with the sound. So if anybody's on here watching, it'd be really helpful if you can let me know if you can hear me okay. Morning, Mary. Can you hear me okay? Can you let me know if you can hear me? Okay, let's go with it. And please let me know. Thanks, Leslie. I think it's an international problem right now. There's so many people working from home, etc. Anyway, how is everybody doing? I absolutely have been finding crazy energy around. I think everybody I've been talking to has been feeling that the body's doing things that they're not sure what's happening, and I think it's really interesting to understand that we make stories up about the body, we make stories up about other humans, we make stories up about ourselves. And I had this back problem when I was twice. I think it must be kicked off by long haul flights. But when I was out at my sister's, that's twice it's happened. And both times first time I went to the doctor, obviously, paid $250 for an x-ray that showed up nothing. And then went for acupuncture. So the second time I knew better, I just went straight for acupuncture. And the girl who did it, she said, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I told her the story, as you do. And she said, I'm going to guess. She said, and nobody ever really actually tells you that they're guessing what is wrong with you. Morning, Anne. And it's an educated guess, based on the information, obviously, that I was giving her. And literally one session. That's happened to me twice. One acupuncture session and the pain went not completely away, but certainly enough not to bother me. Go from excruciating to minorly annoying. But I thought it's so true, because we, as a healer and as a health coach, a guide, whatever I don't know what you call me, we look at the story, the life story. And I've been working with Change Your World Every Day this week, which has been really interesting to put a lot of the thoughts into context. And the theme was, the immune system and the straw that breaks the camel's back, because what happens is, there's no one reason that we get sick. There's a combination of reasons. And there's no one way to get well. There's a combination of ways. And I think, for a long time we focused on diet and exercise, and clearly that plays a part. But we just completely ignored the emotional and spiritual side of the nature of being human. And, whether you're spiritual or not doesn't really matter. That carries a whole load of BS as well. Because it's just more separation. We're all beings on this planet having an experience, and we either choose to believe that we're here for a reason, or we choose to believe it's just a big fat accident. And it doesn't really matter what you believe, as long as you're a good being. Who cares what each other believe, as long as we're treating each other with respect and love. And You know, when it comes to the body at its quantum level is information and light. And, you know, we are being overloaded on a daily basis with new information and new information. And, you know, I'm putting together this package for schools, which has been brilliant as well, because really taking the latest neuroscience, neurogenesis, neuroplasticity, and the latest findings with the microbiota, the biome, the fact that we're actually we're less than 50% body and we're 54% microbes. I think this is phenomenally exciting information. What does it mean in simple layman's language? You know, a friend once said to me about a book that I was raving about. She said, I would never read that. That is not bedside reading. So what I do is I read the science and read all the quantum physics and break it down in a really, because we don't need to use that language. The language that keeps people out, that makes us feel really, I'm so well educated, I understand this. It's like, what does it mean? It means, the neuroscience means that we have an ability to regenerate that we had no idea we had. And Wim Hof, huge gratitude to Wim Hof, because he is one of the global leaders, along with Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton and Lynn McTaggart and Greg. And, you know, there's a lot of people doing it now, taking the mystery of the invisible, because this is what it's about. You know, in the West, seeing is believing. And then it turns out it's actually the other way around. Believing is seeing. Because we have free will, if we don't ask and we don't guide our soul, our spirit, our cells the way we want to go, it will very rarely, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it does. Some people get that instantaneous wake up, and that's a whole other topic for discussion. But really what we're understanding is that things that we thought were set in stone, our genes, for example, our behaviours, our ancestry, all the things that we've inherited, we're now understanding that we can change it. Not with a pill, maybe with a little bit of help from some plant medicine, but this is not about drugs. This is about us understanding that our thoughts, our feelings, our perceptions and our beliefs are implemented into our genetics. We can manipulate our genetic expression. We have the power to choose to eat different foods that will feed the army of bacteria that will create homeostasis in the body. We can feed the healthy bacteria for less and no anxiety. That microbiota is transferring emotion through our bodies. That anxiety that you are feeling or experiencing might be nothing to do with you or all the things that you've guessed it's about. Because what happens when we get anxiety in the body, and it could be caused by the biome, it changes our chemistry, and it means that everything that we look at is potentially a problem. And we look out at the problems and we blame the problems for making us feel that way. Now, this phenomenally exciting stuff takes all the blame away. It is not your fault. It is absolutely nothing to do with us. We didn't know. We didn't know we could regenerate. We just thought we would just get old and go in that downward slope of, what is it they call it? Degeneration, wear and tear. That's it, wear and tear. Bullshit. It's not wear and tear. It's a lack of understanding that we can regenerate. And the neuroplasticity is about overriding the past and creating new neural pathways. Now, imagine our politicians truly understood this. Would they have you locked in your house, terrified? Masks on and away from other humans, if they truly understood the incredible magic of being human and loving, respectful, kind community. Because we cannot do this alone. It's just not possible. It has to be done collectively. We are a collective species. We thrive within communities and we bounce ideas off each other, and the more of us that get on the same page and look for the solutions, the better the solutions are going to be and the more fun we're going to have making sure that we always focus on solutions. And, you know, we're putting together, me with a few other amazing human beings, putting together a programme for schools. And you've no idea the amount of people that have said, oh, well, you need to convince the parents, you need to convince the teachers, you need to convince... Okay, so we don't do it then. We don't try. You know, but look, nobody knows better than me. I ran a community. Nobody knows better than me how difficult it is to inspire people to change. I totally get that, and I know I can spit this information out and a small percentage will take it and run with it. But does that mean you don't try? I truly, truly believe that when people understand, it's about education. We've been given the wrong narrative, the wrong story about being human. Sit exams, get a job, pay your bills. That's the story we've been given. No wonder people are bored and bloody well anxious and sick. No wonder. The narrative is garbage. The new narrative is super, super duper exciting. But, you know, the responsibility that comes with that is that nobody else can fix you. Only you. And being around totally supportive, educated, intelligent beings who understand the information is coming through your body and your microbiota and your brain and your perception is very different from what's coming through somewhere else. It's not even what's even come from. We are owning everything. Owning all this. It's very handy to understand experiences. We absolutely understand that, you know, some people have had traumatic, horrific pasts. But what do we do with that? Broken families, we all know that. But where do we go from here? Oh, well, that won't work. Health and safety risk assessment drives me insane. And that's one of the reasons I left the UK. Kills your entrepreneurial thinking. Every time you come up with a great idea that somebody's put 20 obstacles in your way why you can't do it. And that is absolutely infuriating. Oh, it's breaking up again, isn't it? Are you roughing? Absolutely, it's just been this last week. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry. Is it worth carrying on, do you think, Pauline, or will I abort and just put an exercise up? I don't know whether it's my phone. It might be. I was trying to use the iPad there. Maybe I'll download another. What do you think, guys? Somebody give me a shout out. Should I carry on or should I abort and try another device? It's so frustrating and annoying. Anyway, what do you think? If a couple of people could just... you didn't hear that. Keep going, Leslie said. Okay, I'm keeping going. Okay, so here's the new story, the new narrative. The body is unbelievably intelligent. It is absolutely beyond our wildest imagination what it's capable of doing. When we, the spirit, the soul, inside this container, wake up to the power. What is really incredible is that we've been disempowered. But we can't blame people. There's no point in blaming your parents, blaming the politician, blaming Bill Gates, Nicola Sturgeon. There's no point. Because this is about us taking on the stories. You know, because we're not wanting to change the stories because we're too apathetic, we're too programmed, we're too stuck in the past to let go, to open our minds and to parachute into a new earth. This stuff, I cannot explain how exciting this is for you. And what I am really, really passionate because I know you can change your health picture. I know it. There is not a single shred of doubt in my mind. But what keeps happening is people would say, but, cynicism creeps in because of the past. We, the people, have to understand that fear, they're driving us with fear, controlling us with fear, terrifying us of people without a mask, terrifying us of people that come close. It's the most anti-human thing that I've ever, I can't even believe it's happening. And I cannot believe that people are falling for it. Because I tell you one thing, if you do get COVID and you're fear-driven, your immune system goes way down. Once you understand, you have nothing to fear. Dis-ease, which is the extreme unease in the body because of the torment it's been getting and the lack of connection to who we truly are. When we truly see that and understand that, then the magic happens. The belief comes in, the knowing, the tribe, the other people are like that, the unstoppable mums. As Zen Hiker said, we are a bunch of unstoppable mums. And she said to me, no matter how much people criticise you and try to stop you and shut you down and say you're a conspiracy theorist and an anti-this and an anti-that, I don't care about that stuff. People can say what they want. I am driven from my heart. Don't even ask me why still trying to convince people how powerful they are. When so much of what you get is resistance and cynicism and quite often nastiness. Because this is science. This isn't even me. This is quantum physics, the latest science in the microbiota and neuroscience. This is the way it is. And it's, the old way, yeah, we're power. Listen, there is nobody in the world would love to take a pill and be cured. I would love that. I'm exactly like you guys. I would rather eat, drink and do what I want and the body not respond. But I know that's just not the way it is. I know when I don't look after myself, I feel it. I pay the price for that. And now this deeper understanding, whoa, it's all these microbes that are living on us. There's 10 times more of them than there are cells, and there's about 80 trillion of them. This is just unbelievable. And information, we're a signalling system. So we're receiving signals and we're giving out signals. But we're a cloudy, stagnant pond that is toxic, stressed and inflamed because of, so many crazy, stupid things that we do. The things that are in the environment, the poisoning, the pesticides in our soils, the genetically modified food. Who thinks they're playing God here? Who thinks that they know better than Mother Nature? I mean, Who trusts the pharmaceutical companies more than they trust their own body? This is where we're at, people. We're allowing rich billionaires in suits to tell us what is right for our body. I mean, it's beyond ludicrous. So this is why we need these unstoppable people that are just willing to put their head above the parapet and say, no more. We want nutrient-rich life soil to grow food for our children and our grandchildren. We want our children to understand how to manage their emotions, how to create food that is going to help their body to thrive, feed the microbiome that will make them feel and be a phenomenal signalling system instead of an exhausted, fatigued, apathetic lump, which is what a lot of us have been. I've been like that too, until I learned all this stuff. So we have a choice. Choose. Now what we're looking at is adding in, and Janice, I think you're on here somewhere, Janice Klein, who's just been super inspiring for me. And I was bored with nutrition because it's just like, people aren't going to change their diet, but now we're looking at things that we can add in. And really, and I've done a lot of raw food courses, and I actually really enjoy it. And I've realised people want to learn how to make nutrient-dense, delicious, tasty food that is going to feed the army that will absolutely balance your health. Because if the bad army, and there's good and bad, there's a balance. But what happens is, because we've got no diversity in our diet, we've got no live enzymes in the diet, barely a nutrient in some people's diets, the army gets out of balance, and dis-ease happens. Think about it. What are you putting on your face? What are these wee microbes being given today? What are you putting in your mouth? What are you putting in your hair? What are you thinking? What are you perceiving? All of that. Our cells are like, oh my God, what are they going to poison us with next? I have... Listen, this is the last thing I want to do is blame anybody and make anybody feel bad. My daughter was saying to me, she's like, I feel like, and I know a lot of mums feel like, I feel like I'm not enough, I'm not doing enough. And that is the last thing. Mums are doing an amazing job, because most mums are multitasking in a way that is actually almost superhuman. I watch my friend, she's full-time job, young children, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, what can I do to help the teachers? Can we give them canned things like kombucha and kefir and really beautiful nutrient-dense prebiotic snacks? Really help them to be energised. We need to get in a relationship in our community where we help our teachers and we help our kids' brains work, so that when the teachers teach them, the information goes in and it stays in. So yeah, I made thanks to Janice who taught me this, a probiotic Orangina for my neighbours, for one of my neighbours and my neighbour's wee boy, and they loved it, just fresh orange, but loads of vitamin C. So there's lots of things, and Janice and I are going to be doing a lot of work in that, and we're going to be out, we're going to be sailing around Scotland, and we're going to be driving around, and we're going to be giving all this information to you. We need 100%. If you are an unstoppable mum, then please join us. This is a huge job. We can, Zen Honeycutt's 3 sons were better in 6 weeks. We're not talking about years and years of lack and all that kind of stuff. Autism symptoms, asthma, and life-threatening allergies, because the gut gets perforated, right, because of bloody glyphosate. And we know this stuff. I saw the guys spraying Roundup around the verges, around the house. You're like, what? And with no masks. It's carcinogenic. We know that. Stop doing it. So we have to stop them poisoning the soil and destroying the soil. That's one of the things that we absolutely have to do. And genetically modifying foods. Hello, let me get the foods that Mother Nature. We need to get back to growing our foods in the community. And we're working on that as well. There's there's a lot of energy. I think a lot of people are ready. Yes, Pauline, you watched that. If you've not watched the podcast with Zen Honeycutt, I mean, that woman is just super duper inspiring. But the big thing is, if you're overwhelmed and tired and not particularly well yourself, it's a big enough job keeping your day-to-day things going. People are doing so much nowadays and so much information. Be a good parent, be this, be that. It's like, forget all that. Somebody asked me what my mum and dad did to make us so close, the 6 of us. And I was like, well, they never spoke to us. Certainly never discussed emotions. My dad was out working, and then he did night classes to make money to keep 8 people. And my mum washed, cooked, cleaned, and did everything. Every single thing in the house for all of us. Day in, day out, day in, day out. And she had to keep on top of it, because can you imagine 8 people living in your house and you have to even peel potatoes for that every day? So this, and it made me think, but we had a community, a very, very strong community. Well, we were a community ourselves, the 6 of us. We laughed a lot, we partied together. And also that, the people that lived around us are still part of that community. And the doors were always open and we played outside. So, the community, we're making it very difficult. We are trying so hard, exhausting ourselves, and we're thinking, is that the right food? Is that the right thing? Is this the right thing? It's just like, no, just being there is enough. Being present, being in the house, even if you're doing chores. My mum would be at the landlord, would be at this kitchen sink, literally. But we just knew she was there. She didn't have to do anything. So we've complicated this. And it's great to spend time with your kids, but they need to have their own free play as well, and learn about, the relationships and all the stuff that we're trying to stop them from learning now. And we had nails in our windows and locks in our doors. I mean, it was a total zoo. I don't know how to manage. We never got labels. You just got on with it. So I think we really have to balance out everything that's happening now. We know that a lot of boys and girls don't want to sit in a classroom all day, and there's phenomenal, movements coming in. But we need to chill out. We need to chill out. We are enough. We're doing enough. You're on this call, you're interested, you want to help. We've made a very, very simple thing, being human, into a very, very complex, challenging existence. with so many things to do instead of just enjoying ourselves and understanding that, the kids will always be fine. The only thing they really do need is love and a sense of security. And that doesn't mean to say that you need to be out in the garden with them. It just means that you are around, or somebody is around. We've also got very caught up in the biological. If your mum's not there, as long as somebody's there, somebody that cares and loves, it's all good. So let's do a little release for all the people who are feeling that they're not enough and that they're not doing enough. So just sit nice and comfortably, and let's do the 4-7-8. So breathe in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. And in, hold, and out. Okay. And now let's just do a little bit of EFT around the judgment of ourselves and the belief that perhaps we're not doing, we could do more, yada, 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 all the conscious mind stuff. And understanding that when you just are centred, when your cells are in tune, you're aligned, and you're just being, and you're sending out that wonderful vibration of unconditional love. That's the language that kids feel. So we need to get away from all this doing, and understand a little more about just being, saving our precious energy for the real actions that are necessary to take in order for us and our children and grandchildren to live a really happy, healthy life. So we are setting down our own epigenetics and our children's with what we feed them. And that can be scary. And I know a lot of people have very picky, finicky kids. Seems to be a thing. Don't buy crap. It's a very simple solution to that. And persevere. It's happening. Healthy eating. It's not a case of like carrot juice and you just gently, slowly but surely, a carrot, cut up apple, bit of orange, put them in the spring fruit. Just get some raw, live foods in there. Don't make it complicated. Cut up some pepper, some cucumber, and also growing things and encouraging them, sprouting seeds if they do the actual growing and sprouting. We know that if they're part of the process, they're much more likely to try it. So we're going to look and we're going to find ways. We are solution orientated and we are unstoppable. Okay, so tap with me. Even although I've been feeling overwhelmed, what do you feed my kids? Is it the right thing? Is it the wrong thing? It's so stressful. It's 3 meals a day. They'll eat something one day and then they won't eat it the next, and it's just so overwhelmingly stressful. And maybe there's people in your family that are feeding their children food that you don't agree with. That can be really stressful too. I want my grandchildren to have healthy food and I judge people who don't eat healthy food. Or maybe the granny is really guilty of feeding the children sugar and crap, not fully understanding the microbiome and what they're doing. Whatever it is that's stressing you out about your food, maybe the food of your children, maybe your own food, maybe you've got bad habits, programs in there. It doesn't matter. It's all fine, because remember, we're moving forward. We ain't ruminating in the past. We're just going to let go of everything, bad habits and all that no longer serve us, and we're just going to stop beating ourselves up. I am enough. Say it. I am enough. I am enough. I have everything I need inside me. I have the intelligence, the knowing. I I am connected to my own children, to my grandchildren. I am patient. I allow myself to introduce live, healthy foods that Mother Nature provided. I have the power to change whatever I feel needs to be changed. I'm letting go of all doubt that I am powerful. I'm letting go of any doubt that I am enough. I am enough. I am a powerful, powerful, sentient being. And I'm letting go of any limitation. I'm letting go of apathy and fatigue. I allow the past to dissolve as I waken up to the new story. The new story that of purpose, energy, clarity, and most of all, action and unstoppability. I have the power. I am the power. The change is coming through the women. We are waking up, we are standing up, and we're releasing all fear. Fear of not being heard, fear of not being listened to. Letting go of the past, the hurts, and the limiting beliefs. And allowing the new energies to rise, the cells to expand. I am powerful and I am enough. Woo! Say it, mean it. No more pussyfooting around here, guys and gals. We have the power, we are the power. The new narrative, the new understanding, the regeneration. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot be, because that's currently what we're doing. We are powerful energy beings, and we are the director of this cellular show. That means we have nobody to blame and complain. We are the power. So, thanks so much for joining. I am going to investigate. I'm going to buy a new phone as well. Hopefully, I don't know whether it's a signal. I don't know whether somebody's trying to stop me from telling you the new information. Anyway, have a great